Excuse me. Smart floral display. Are they real?
What do you think?
They look kind of shiny.
Naturally. I've just varnished them.
Do you paint the flowers too?
This is Union City, not Wonderland. You obviously know nothing about plants.
Won't the varnish harm the plants?
Au contraire, clever Dick. It filters out the crap in the atmosphere.
What are you doing to that plant?
I'm modelling a living sculpture. It's called topiary, and it's an art form.
What are those blue flowers called?
They're dandelions. Don't touch them!
They're pretty. But why can't I touch them?
Because if you do, you'll wet your bed.
I haven't done that for months. See you later. Tell me about your dandelion game.
Ah, it's brilliant. You get chased by these giant yellow weeds.
You mean dandelions are yellow? The gardener told me they were blue.
He's mad. He's not a real gardener.
How'd you know the gardener is a fake?
He's got green fingers.
That's the sign of a naturally talented gardener.
I saw him dipping them in the paint. Anyway, the plants are made of plastic.
You're a real help, Vincent.
No problem, Rob.
Don't wear out your thumbs. Excuse me.
Hello, darling. I don't believe we've met.
No, I'm a stranger here.
I'm Mrs. Piermont, but you can call me Danielle.
How do I get out of the city?
Now, why would you want to do that? There's nothing in the gap but sand and savages.
But that's where I live.
Ooh, how ghastly for you, my dear.
What's the mutt's name?
Well, really? He's not a mutt. His name is Spunky.
He looks like he's got fleas.
He has millions of them. But he's allergic to the flea powder.
Why don't you give him a good bath?
Oh, I've tried, but he can't bear to get wet.
Do you know someone called Overmann?
Why, yes, I do. He worked with my husband, Professor Piermont. Why? Are you interested in Overmann?
He was my father.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. Overmann's only son died in an accident.
That was no accident, Mrs. Piermont. It was deliberate sabotage by security. My mother was killed, but I survived. And I've read a document which proves it.
Incredible! Your mother was a great friend to me. If there's any way I can help you, just ask.
Never mind. Excuse me. Never mind. The door has an old-fashioned lock on it. It's an old trick, but it still works. The mechanism has rusted solid. It's an old map, but it means nothing to me. The stairway has been bricked up. Why did I waste my time doing that? Being in this city must be cracking me up. Excuse me.
Hold it. Your membership card, please.
I don't have one.
This is a private club.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You do now. Piss off.
Smart shoes.
Oh, thanks. You can tell a lot from a man's shoes. The design tells you what kind of man he is. The way he cares for them tells you where he's going.
And what he's trodden in tells you where he's been. How do I join the club?
You have to be sponsored by any... It's a most exclusive establishment. Frequented only by those with the proper credentials.
You mean people with money?
No, people with credit. There's a world of difference. People with money think they can afford not to care. People with credit know they can't, but don't care anyway.
What goes on in the club?
If I was to tell you that this club provides recreational facilities par excellence, for a clientele with elegance and taste, I'd be lying through my teeth.
You just said it was exclusive.
Oh, it is exclusive but seedy. The reason people come here is the cheap booze and the fact that it's off limits to security.
Do you know anyone who'd sponsor me?
What about old widow Piermont? She used to come here, years ago. If you chatted her up, she might sponsor you.
See you later. Excuse me. Would you sponsor me for the club?
If you're really Robert Overmann, I'll sponsor you. But I don't want to visit the club. I'll call the manager from my apartment. Oh, come to Mummy, Spunky.
Can you sponsor me for the club?
Look, I'm just a kid, right?
Oh, come to Mummy, Spunky.
Do you really think they'd make me a member? I don't think so.
Have you been watching old movies? Don't wear out your thumbs. Excuse me. You told me dandelions were blue.
Did I? Well, what of it?
This boy assures me they're yellow.
Ugh, smart-assed little brat. All right, you got me sussed. I haven't had any formal training, but I've always dreamed of being a gardener. I love 'em. Every little shrub and succulent. Those dainty blossoms waving their little stamens in the breeze.
All right, I get the point.
You won't report me, will you?
Why should I do that? It's the call button for an apartment.
Hello. Who is this?
It's me, Robert.
Come right in, Rob. Welcome to my humble little home, Robert. I remember you as a baby, Robert.
I've grown a bit since then.
I'm sure you have. You must have so many questions to ask me.
Yes, I have. Is my father still alive?
I've not seen him since my husband's funeral. What a magnificent occasion. I wish I could have stayed until the end.
You walked out of your husband's funeral?
I had no choice. Poor Spunky hates cathedrals. All that incense and droning makes him bilious. No sooner had I got him outside than up came his breakfast.
It's a good thing he didn't chuck in church.
Don't interrupt, darling. Well, when I got back, they were all gone. Congregation, choir, coffin and all.
What was the professor working on?
Didn't I tell you? Helmut was the designer of LINCa. It was his dream, but he died before it was realized. Your father became the project leader.
So my dad was responsible for LINCa?
Yes, he stepped into Helmut's shoes. LINCa reached completion on the very day you were born. From then on, Richard changed. He spent more time with LINCa than he did with his wife and baby.
Why did my mother try to escape?
But she did her best to cope. But she wasn't the same after Richard's rejection. The authorities never approved of her marriage either, because she came from Hobart. Eventually, she decided to return home.
So the bastards had her killed.
You're overwrought, Robert. Would you like some paracetamol?
I don't want analgesic. I want answers. Why didn't you want to visit the club?
The memories are too painful.
Did you go there with the professor?
Yes, we met in a club. Oh, he was a handsome young graduate. And I was a flower in my first bloom. He plucked me from the garden of innocence.
I see what you mean. The memories are painful. Are you gonna sponsor me now?
If that's what you want. I'll telephone the manager and make the arrangements. This won't take a moment.